Support for this podcast and the following message come from Corient. Corient provides wealth management services centered around you. They focus on exceeding expectations, simplifying lives, and establishing legacies that last for generations. Leverage their exclusive network of experts to help achieve your personal and professional financial goals. As one of the largest integrated fee-only registered investment advisors in the U.S., Corient has experienced teams who can craft custom solutions designed to help you reach your financial goals, no matter how complex. Real wealth requires real solutions. Connect to a wealth advisor today at Corient.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Potted Together podcast. I'm Nicole and I'm joined by my wonderful co-hosts Adam and Becky.
Oh,
hello.
You know what? I had a feeling it was going to be a Becky day. As you started talking, I was like, ooh, it feels like a Becky day.
Yep. It's a Becky day, and it's a Becky day because I'm going to be seeing her in a couple of days, and this is very exciting.
It is very exciting. When you guys hear this, right? Mm-hmm. It'll be that week.
Yeah.
So Nicole and I might be together like tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, I lied. It'll be the following week. So sorry. Yeah.
Every time we try to like predict when the we're always wrong. So I'm never going to do that again.
And then it makes me feel like we're so on top of shit, but really we're only a week ahead. So yeah, we're really not. I'm only going to her house for like 2 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be a whirlwind for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're that far though. Like when I think about it, I'm like, this drive is not that difficult.
Yeah. It's a very easy drive. It's like all big highways and straight through. Yeah.
Right through my old stomping ground.
Yeah, right through there.
Yeah.
My mom and Ted are still in Aruba, and they're scheduled to get back on Monday night. And they originally had a flight that was coming in at 9 p.m., which was perfect because before I even planned the trip to your house, I was like, well, Mia still got to get to school, so I'll have enough time to sleep, blah, 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 right? Because I picked them up. Okay. God forbid they take a cab. Okay. So their flight got pushed back the time. So now they're landing at midnight.
Oh,
and
God. Maybe me at midnight.
Yes. Yes. Ow, ow, ow.
Sorry.
And they only have like 45 minutes in between their connecting flight. And it's Miami Airport. It's pretty large.
Yeah.
So she's worried they're going to miss their flight. So she's like, well, if you have to pick me up Tuesday, and like in my head, I wanted to be out of here by like 6 a.m. because driving with Adam to your house at night, while it was a grand old time, the roadkill is just not something I want to experience again. So it cannot be dark. You know, it just can't be dark. So I need to get out of here like by 9-10 a.m. the latest, just in case.
Yeah. And to make the most of the day, like it's going to be a travel day. Like, man, anytime I have a travel day like that, like I want to leave as early as possible if I'm driving. Like,
yeah.
You got to pick up your beef jerky too, your animal skin.
I got to pick up the beef jerky. We got to stop at Love's. So it's just a whole thing. And I just wanted to get there at a reasonable time so we can like maybe hang out or the whole reason I'm going there. Well, one of the main reason, okay, is to do your maternity photos, which I'm very excited about. But like, I wanted to give us those 3 days just in case we had shit weather. We have, we can just do them whenever we can do them,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'm like thinking about locations around our place, and like we're currently mowing down the big field, and I feel like the field is like an obvious choice, but it's going to look like freshly mowed grass. I'm like, oh, that's not very cute. So I think I'm going to tell Daniel not to mow the back part of it so that we still have like tall grass.
Is that like where we did our potted together with the bench? Okay.
Yeah. But this year we're deciding we're not going to mow it all the time, but just once because like trees are growing in. So just to maintain that so that it stays like a pasture. So yeah, we haven't done that. And there's some like trees that are like 3 feet tall. And we're like, okay, that they're growing a foot a year. That's insane.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, just I think you need to buy one of those like billowing sheer robes off of Amazon and then just hop into the Poo Lagoon and just
Ew, that took a turn. The Poo Lagoon is so stinky. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The algae layer on top really takes the edge off the smell. You can't smell it. But then when you start stirring it up, you can smell.
Ooh. Why would one stir it up?
Well, last summer, so you can't have, like, according to code, you can't have plants growing around it.
Oh, that's right.
Every year we have to go in and trim the plants around it. And I think you can also put something in the lagoon to like kill plants or whatever. But yeah, we took our nephews down there. It was me and like 2 nephews. And I had our brush cutter and I was just like cutting down everything and they had to pick it up. And like the plants were like falling in the water and they had to like stick their hands in they had gloves on, but they had to like get really close to the I'm gonna gag just thinking about it.
We should stop talking about it.
But yeah, and apparently they like were accidentally splashing each other. Like it was just like so gross. No! I just found out about the splashing thing.
But like, why can't plants grow in there? It's such a natural fertilizer. They're so lush.
I also think because it kind of camouflages it so people could drive into it. A safety thing.
Oh.
Partially.
Oh.
Maybe.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I thought maybe it was because the plants will start encroaching on the pond and like making it smaller.
That's
maybe.
True.
But when we toured the house, there was like trees that had been growing there for like at least 10 plus years. They were huge. And it looked actually very pretty because it was just this little pond looking thing surrounded by like really thick foliage and trees. And I was like, oh, I love this. And then I found out it was like horrible to code. Like our lender was like, absolutely not. They have to clean that up and put a fence around it. So yeah.
Okay.
Thankfully, that was figured out before we like that was like a stipulation of our lender. So and they did it because it needed to be done. Obviously, it wasn't to code. But anyway. So yeah, I'm like, oh shoot, where are we gonna take these photos? But our property is very beautiful. There's plenty of spaces to take the photos.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I found this dress. It's from Amazon. I saw someone on TikTok have it, but it's like a black kind of like bodycon dress with like a stomach cutout. So your stomach literally just is like out in the cutout. And I was like, oh, that's cute. So I might order that. It's not really my style, but I think it's really cute. So
cool.
That in addition to like another dress.
Yeah, let's do all the looks.
Yeah, that's the thing is like you can do as many outfit changes as you want because you got a bestie taking your photos.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yep. Me too. I'm very excited. Yeah, so let's hope that her flight's not delayed because Jay has a session Tuesday and it would just be a complete shit show. And I'm like, well, you do have another daughter. Like, have you called my sister? And she's like, she's got to work. So either way, like I'm out of here at 10 a.m. the latest because it's like a 6-hour drive-ish. But, you know, I have to stop at Love's and get my beef jerky. So,
yeah.
And lunch.
I mean,
anyway.
Is her flight... Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, is her flight the first one out of Aruba that day? Then to get to Miami?
No. It's like the last one out, I think.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's and like she wouldn't be put on another flight in Miami because it gets in at midnight. So she'd have to wait till like 6 a.m.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Let's hope it doesn't happen because she'll be taking a cab. Anyway, in today's episode, I think we have a pretty fun one for you guys. Actually, this was sent in by a listener, so thank you very much. Do we know who it was?
Yeah, let me get that. It was by Amelia.
Thank you so much, Amelia, because this topic is pretty fun, and I think we've all kind of discussed this off topic numerous times because we're very envious of people that live in places that can grow plants outside. So today's episode is going to be about our dream outdoor garden spaces.
Oh, yes.
Tropical garden spaces.
Tropical garden spaces. Yes. Because I was going to say, like, I used to think ideally Arizona would be my place, but I don't think it is. Like, cactus are cool, but like you can't have tropics outside, you know? You just can't. Like, faux show, you can't.
Don't do it.
So yeah, we're going to talk about that. But first, we're going to play a little ketchup and mustard. And I thought it was really funny, guys. I was at the grocery store the other day and I was walking down the chip aisle, and what do I see but ketchup and mustard Doritos. Like, when did they come out with...
Did you try
I
them?
know, but like, no, but they were like separate bags. So like one was like spicy ketchup and the other one was like hot mustard or something like that. I put them together and took a picture for the podcast. Okay. But I didn't try them. I must try them.
Yeah. Spicy ketchup and hot mustard sounds like a good time.
Honestly, I was going to say that sounds really gross.
I was gonna say maybe I could pick some up and we could do a little TikTok when I get to Becca's, but I don't want you gagging.
No, I like chips. I'm a chip girl. 100%.
I'm a chip girl.
I like chips.
Oh.
Yeah. I have to say this mic stand is so nice. I'm literally lounging.
Yeah.
I'm lounging.
Wait, take a
hands are
screenshot so you can show people your setup.
Okay.
Well, wait, I'll take the screenshot because yours tiny on yours.
Yeah.
Smile. 1, 2, 3. Guys, wow. First try and I didn't shut my phone off.
Yay.
Oh my god, I do it all the time.
I always lock my phone because I clicked the wrong button.
Okay.
Also, my seat is kind of creaky, so you might have to do something. I'm sorry. I won't move my seat anymore, but I just realized like when I rock, it makes a sound.
Also known as Becca has gas, but she's pregnant, so we're just going to ignore it.
It's my chair. I swear.
She's farting for 2.
I'm farting for 2. Yeah. Absolutely. So weird. There is a farting human in my belly.
That's weird to think about.
I don't know if she farts yet.
We lost Nicole.
Yeah. Bye, Nicole. Well, Adam, I guess let's hear your update while she's figuring out her internet.
While she's figuring it out. I got a puppy.
You got a puppy!
I got a puppy! Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Last week I was like whispering about it because I was like, I had a feeling it was going to happen. Welcome back, Nicole. We started with my ketchup.
Hi. So we're back. I don't know what happened on my internet. I heard you guys and then I heard you say, Becca, oh, there goes Nicole. And I'm like, I'm right here. What are you talking about?
No, you were not.
I never left.
Okay, so I did not hear your catch-up. Can you start over?
Yeah. I was just telling the audience that I got a puppy.
Yes, you did!
Oh my gosh, I love him so much already. So last Thursday, I was kind of whispering to these guys before we started the pod. I was like, I think I'm going to get a puppy. Because I was really like laying it on Steve to be like, I want this dog. It's free. It needs a home. Like,
It was free?
yeah, because it was an accident situation. Like a friend of a friend's Chihuahua hooked up with a next door pug.
That's why you get your dogs
they
fixed, ladies and gentlemen.
Popped out all these chugs.
This is really great for you, but it also makes me wonder, like, people just don't get their dogs fixed and they just
I know
let them around. Like, I'm like so surprised by that still because we've always like very quickly fixed all of our animals.
Same.
We did too.
Also, like, I didn't realize that female dogs could have their period until like I was with a friend who didn't have their dog fixed and it was wearing a diaper. And I was like, why does your dog have a diaper on? And she's like, oh, well, she's on her period. And I was like, excuse me? I mean, duh. I should have known, but weird.
Yeah.
Little drip.
Who's got time to deal with that shit? I barely want to deal with my period.
Exactly. Anyway,
No.
so my little blessing was born out of a one-night stand, but I don't mind.
Oh.
Because I literally never thought I would ever own a tiny dog, but I am so in love with this little shit. Like he brings so much joy to my life. I don't know.
He's so cute. Wait, can you go get him? Can we see him live in the flesh?
Yeah, do you want me to go get him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We've only seen photos and like little video snippets, not even a lot. Like I kind of feel like, you know, we deserve more footage of Mai Tai.
I was gonna say, Steve posted the cutest picture on his stories yesterday. Did you see it? Of Patches with her little paw like leaning on him, and then Mai Tai in his lap.
So cute.
So adorable.
I died.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I know. He is the cutest little dog. I mean, I'm not really big on little dogs either, but
oh my god, he's so tiny.
Face. Oh, he's so little. Oh, look at that little face.
He's so. Have him sniff the mic. Let him sniff the mic.
I don't know if he will.
He's
Mai Tai.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god.
He's licking it.
Oh, what a sweet
he's so
little boy.
tiny. So how big do you think he's gonna get? Like how many pounds?
I don't know. That's the thing is I have no idea.
There's some math you can do. Like you can like their weight at a certain amount of months, you could like multiply it by some number, and that's like a approximate amount.
Really?
Yeah, there's an equation. But honestly, I have to say, for an accidental litter, that's a pretty good accidental litter. Like those two dogs have been mixed before. It's not like it's like a Rottweiler and a Chihuahua.
I feel like people pay a pretty penny to get a chug, which
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, definitely. It's like a happy accident for sure.
Is he very much in the puppy phases of biting? And like, is he potty trained? Like, how's everything going? We need all the details.
Well, there's been a few accidents in the house, but not much. I have to figure out how to like get him to tell us he needs to go out. There's been a couple times because he's like literally he cannot be away from us. So like I brought him in here. He's behind me. I think he's probably going to fall asleep because he's a little tired. But like if Steve and I are in a room and when one of us walks out, he has to follow them. And if he can't get out, he'll just whine until like we're both together. So
does he sleep in bed with you?
No, he sleeps in a kennel next to the bed because I want to kennel train him first.
Yeah.
And then I'll let him sleep in bed. But he does whine in the middle of the night. And I just put my arm down there and stick like 2 fingers in his kennel. And he puts his head on them and falls asleep. So he just needs to like know that he's being touched, because he'll whine until like your hand gets down there and then he'll be like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. He's so lonely. I think crate training is so good.
Yeah. Same thought. Like it protects them from getting into a bunch of shit while you go out.
Yeah.
And it just like creates a safe space for them. Like a lot of people, when we were crate training Jazzy and Prime, we had like some people be like, oh, you're locking them in a cage. It's like, no, like they actually like that. Yeah,
they do. And also they're gonna be in a crate at some point in their life, like at the vet or a groomer or a boarding facility. So why would you not expose them to that? Because then they're going to be totally freaked out.
Yeah.
And even
if they're
when we
not
travel,
exposed to that.
When we travel, I want to be able to like have him in the hotel and he'd be fine in the hotel without us, without like freaking out in a crate, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
Oh, he's so tiny, so cute.
Very little.
I really don't think that he's going to get much bigger than that. Maybe just double the size, not even.
Really?
Yeah. He looks like he's like 5 pounds.
Yeah, I don't even know how big he is.
Oh, I doubt he'll get bigger than 10 pounds. That's my unprofessional opinion. But like Chihuahuas are small. Chihuahuas, I don't think would exceed 10 pounds. Pugs, maybe 15, 20, if they're healthy. Lots of pugs are overweight, but.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know, again, like I said, I never thought I would have a small dog. Oh, and you guys said that already, but we named him Mai Tai, like the tiki drink. Steve really loved that. Steve even bought him like a little tiki collar.
Oh, cute.
But I never thought I'd have a small dog, but it is nice when he does the accidents. Because like when Cuddy had an accident in the house, when he peed, it was like a lake.
A river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like you
Lot
can't
of
just like
water.
stop them in the middle of it. Well, this little guy is just, he tinkles, but I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not a huge mess.
Yeah.
so
Easy to
that's
pick
good.
him up. Have you seen the bell thing on the door?
Yeah, we want to get one of those.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
We should have done that for Cooper because there was a few times when he would go to the door, but like I didn't notice. And then he'd end up peeing in front of the door and I felt terrible.
Yeah.
But then again, like I feel like they'll be ringing that bell all day long once they figure it out. It's like,
Yeah.
stop ringing the bell. Okay,
Yeah.
so how are the cats with Mai Tai, and how is Mai Tai with the cats?
Well, he wants to play with them, and he's pretty vocal. Like he's got his little bark, and it's cute. But
Yeah.
Patches does not want anything to do with him,
Yeah.
which is weird because she's been my chill cat. And Hank, which is my friend Zach's cat, Hank is totally fine with him, and they like chase each other
Oh,
a little bit. Yeah,
is Hank younger? How what's the age is Patches a little bit older?
Patches is a little bit older. Hank is, he's younger. I think he's like, maybe there might be like 2-year age difference between the two.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Hank has been around a bigger dog before. Hank was, when he was living with Zach, he was around a bulldog. And so I just feel like he's used to that energy a little bit more.
Yeah.
I saw the video you posted with him like just jumping around and like Hank just sitting there like looking at like what is up with you. It was so funny.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
Oh my goodness. I love it. Puppies are the best.
It is there, but there are a lot of work, worth it.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I feel like okay. I have obviously never had a baby. I'm pregnant, but I have watched a lot of infants and puppies are so similar to infants. Like they really are, but I think they're like obviously way more fun, but they are like, you have to like every 2 hours, they're going to the bathroom, got to wake up with them at night because their bladder can't hold. Like, I don't know. It's I think it's a really great way to introduce yourself to kids if you want, if you don't, maybe you're not sure if you want kids or not.
Yeah,
Get
there's
a puppy.
definitely a correlation there when people say get a puppy first.
Yeah.
Honestly though, like me and Jay will say this all the time. Puppies are so much more work than kids at a certain point. Like, you can leave them home alone, but it's like, that's like all you could do. They can't tell you what's wrong. They get sick and you can't. He's so cute. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just a lot. And then if you have a dog that's kind of like high anxiety, like Prime, it's a problem when people come over and it's just like,
Yeah. Whereas the
they
kid,
don't
you could
get it.
just blindfold, put some stuff over their mouth, throw them in a closet, and they're not going to make a sound. The dog's going to be raising hell.
All right, Becca, let's not say that on social media.
Oh, you want to be on the podcast?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's our newest member.
These little sounds.
He's such a vicious one, huh?
Oh my god.
That little growl. Like, what is he going to do?
Okay, I'm gonna.
I
go
wish
take him
it
back.
wasn't so okay. I wish it wasn't so expensive to travel with them because when they're that little, it's like just throw them in the little bag. I could even give you our travel bag because our dogs won't do it. They're too big.
Puppies are so fun. But the potty training is what kills me. I was always the one that potty trained our dogs, and it's just, ugh.
Yeah.
Jay's like, don't you want to get a puppy? And I was like, I don't want to be the one to do the potty training again. Thank you. So
I know.
I don't mind it so much because we work from home. So it's like, okay, every hour I just take him out, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was more difficult with Cuddy because obviously I was gone at work and I didn't work in the same town. So I couldn't come home for lunch. He was in the kennel for like 8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, okay, when I was researching getting Cooper, a bunch of the advice online was like, take like a month off of work because it's like important to have them like really well potty trained. I'm like, who can take a month off of work?
Right.
Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's so unrealistic. But that is pretty much like what you'd have to do to like be able to be there. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, little Mai Tai, he's great. Love him.
He's so cute.
He's very cute.
Cutie baby. Anything else?
I told my...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I was just going to say I told my mom, and I sent her photos and video, of course. And Jay says congratulations. And my mom says congratulations. And I told my mom his name. And she was like, oh, my God, they can call him Mai Mai. Because, like her dog was Miley.
Yeah.
And they called her Mai Mai.
Oh, Miley. Yeah. We usually go by, we just say Tai, but it's kind of hard because Mai Tai is kind of hard,
Yeah,
Mai
that's
Tai.
so cute, though, Ty.
Yeah, he's cute.
Oh,
I do wish we could take it, but like, see, I'm in the era of like, he's going everywhere with me. And Steve is like, are you sure we can take him to IKEA? I was like, I don't give a shit. He's tiny. He's going to sit in this bag. He's going to IKEA with us. Like, we're taking him to IKEA. And Steve's like, he gets real anxious about that. He's like, well, are you sure we can take him here? And I was like, I'm doing it. I see people take bigger dogs. I've seen people carry birds into places. So like, that's fine.
I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say there's no dogs allowed in here. Okay, bye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you both flying to Nebraska this weekend, or is it just
we
you?
are. No, it's both of us.
Where's little Mai Tai going to go?
To Jesse's house because Jesse has his sister, Luna.
Oh,
Because she's potty training him for her mom because her mom works and Jesse works from home. So easier to potty train from working from home. So Jesse's potty training Luna. And I thought it would just be easier if he went there. But I have two good friends here. Well, a lot of more friends here that would watch him. But Lydia has 7 dogs. Jesse has like 4.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Lydia.
That's a lot of dogs.
Lydia is like every dog. Like she can't be near a shelter because she'll get a dog. Like we just have to like go around. But yeah. So at least we have people here that can watch him whenever we do need to travel. I think that was Steve's like biggest issue because his dogs that he had that have since passed, they weren't socialized very often, so they couldn't really like go to board or it wasn't very easy. And I don't ever want a dog like that. I want to make sure that they can go to a boarding facility. They can go to my friend's house that has a bunch of dogs and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely something we would do different. Like our plan once we don't have our dogs anymore is to get a Frenchie, like the little ones.
I love Frenchies.
But definitely they're so cute.
Adorable.
But to definitely do that, like boarding and stuff.
Yeah.
Because we didn't do that with our dogs. We didn't really have to do it because we had like our own business and we made our own hours. But you're right. It is so important when you're taking vacations,
Yeah.
Yeah, doggy daycare is also a thing that, like that. I don't think that was a thing for a long time. I think that's a newer to be able to take your dog to daycare, or maybe it's not. But I never knew about that at all.
I used to take Cuddy
don't
like in the early 2012, 2013. A lot.
Okay, I'm just out of the loop.
No, but it was like a boarding facility that also did daycare. But he loved it. It was his favorite place, and literally slept the entire next day. So I took him Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's really
and then
nice.
He slept all day Tuesday, slept all day Thursday, slept all day Saturday. Sunday he was fun, and then Monday back to daycare.
Yeah.
That's great.
I love it.
Okay, that's enough for me though. That's enough talking about my baby.
that was the best update that we've had in a long time.
But man,
How about you, Becky?
Okay. I had my baby shower. That was fun.
Yes.
it didn't
You
rain.
did.
And it didn't rain. It was supposed to. Okay, so Missouri is weird, or just the weather is weird because it'll say rain that day, but you can't see what part of the day the rain's going to be there. So I was just seeing rain on the forecast, and I was like, oh shit, my party's ruined, because we did it in my backyard, which I've always wanted to have a yard where like I would host parties and stuff like that, and it was perfect. It was like so much fun. There's so much space, and it ended up being like it was like 95% family because we don't have a lot of friends here.
Yeah.
And like I'm not gonna expect you guys or like my friends back home to travel in. But my mom
I totally would have. I would have made that my trip, but I had
Oh
a
my
stupid
gosh.
wedding. Sorry.
It's a long way to come. I had to work my job. So it was 95% family, and then we had like 3 friends come, and it was just really fun. And Daniel's family is just really sweet and goofy and rowdy, and there's kids. You know, it's a family. So
Yeah.
that was fun. We grilled some burgers, and Daniel was going to have to grill, but then like his uncle was like, I'll do it. And we're like, yeah, great. Like, thanks. So we just got to chill. But like the leading up to the party was kind of stressful. Like there was so much that I forgot. And like, thank God my mom and sister were there, because my mom was like, well, did you think about this, 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 this? And I was like, like that happened like 4 times. And my mom is just very much like okay, well, let's make the list and let's go get it. And I just really appreciate that, because I am like that too, but my brain's fried half the time now, so I forgot like so many things. But I made my first balloon arch. That balloon arch, I made that.
Oh.
That was beautiful.
It was so cute, and it was really easy, and it did fall over like before the party started, so like a few of the balloons popped, so that wasn't even its full glory. It looked a lot better, and then it fell, and I was just like, great.
Oh, it was so pretty though.
Yeah, it had like a couple more big like oversized balloons, and both of those popped, and there's just one huge one at the top. I was like, okay, well, thank God it's just family, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I like studied for this, you know, and when it came time, I was just like throwing balloons, tying balloons. I got one of those like automatic like balloon blow up things.
Yeah.
Worth every penny. It was great. So
Worth every penny.
We're- Were any of your friends from Tucson able to come, or did they all have like work and stuff?
no, and I didn't even really tell them about it, because I didn't want like they knew that it was happening. And like the day, but I was not like following up and being like, so your RSVP, like I just was, one of them called me and she's like, I really wanted to come and surprise you, but I just couldn't make it happen. And I was like, Natalie, like, please don't even stress. Like, it's not a big deal at all. I honestly would feel guilty like having someone fly in, because like I didn't have anywhere to sleep them. What did house them? So I'm like, you're gonna come out. You're gonna come out here for like a 2-hour or 3-hour party, and then stay in a hotel. Like it just Anyway, and my mom and my sister flew out. Their flights were horrible.
Yeah.
Like it took them
What
like
happened?
they had to take 2 red eyes to even get out here, and the layovers were like 19 hours. It's like,
That is so crazy.
yeah. So thankfully with one of the layovers, we had family in that city. So they just like slept at the family's house and spent the day with them. But like it took them 27 hours to get home, I think.
Oh my God.
Like insane. And the flights were not cheap. And that was like the best option too, which is just so shocking. Like the flights to the Midwest from Arizona are so bad. So bad.
Yeah, what is with that? They never used to be. I mean, I used to be able to get on like a $250 round trip flight to see my mom.
It might be because you're coming out of Chicago. Like Chicago is a major airport.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And like St. Louis isn't a small airport. So
It's not.
I don't understand. But anyway, so I wasn't expecting like anybody to like come in. But my mom and sister wanted to, and I was like, yeah, I'll take the help. Because I'm getting to the point in like pregnancy and life where I'm like, oh shit, there is like 1,000 things to do. And there is but 2 of us. So
yeah. Well, I'm hoping that like when I'm there, I can help you with as much things as you like. Don't feel bad. Like I think I said this last week too, but like I'm down to help with whatever.
You're down to clown.
I'm down to clown.
I might have you. Oh, sorry. What?
Am I going to get a link to this registry? Because I still want to buy you something.
You do?
Same.
Yes, of course.
You guys.
Link it.
Oh.
Just send us a link.
It'll be linked in the description, but just kidding.
Yes. 100%. Go check Instagram stories. There'll be a link.
No, there won't. I'm totally joking.
There will be. I'll post it.
No.
It won't be coming from Becca. It'll be coming from me. So head on over to Pot It Together Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
And go shopping. Woo!
Absolutely not. I'll send it to you too.
Okay.
Okay.
That's very generous. Thank you. But we got quite a few clothes. I organized it today. She's like pretty much set up to like hopefully like a year.
Was it
Nice.
a lot of pinks, or did people listen to your instructions?
Yeah.
It was, yeah, I liked everything. Like, it was good.
Oh, good.
I mean, it was definitely like all like very girly, but that's fine. Like, that's totally fine. She's a baby. So,
Yes.
and
She's
like,
a little baby.
yeah, the closer it comes, the more I'm like, I want her to wear ruffles. I said this like a few weeks ago too, but like before
Yeah.
I found out it was a girl, I was like, neutrals. I'm going to be a neutral mom. And now I'm like, pink, polka dots, flowers.
Tulle
All
everywhere.
the lace.
Tutus. Like, who's getting her the princess dress? Like,
I'm bringing over a little something that Mia picked out because we talked about this. The minute we found out you were pregnant, she was at Target in the baby section. And she kept in mind the whole neutral thing.
Yeah.
So
I love it. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. There's it's a good selection of clothes. I'm really excited to clothe her. And I got some diapers. We're doing cloth diapering. So
okay.
we're like figuring that out.
Did you get the sprayer on the toilet to spray it down?
I will. Yeah, I'm going
Yeah.
to. Yeah. Yeah, Dan's like, so we're going to get a separate washer, right? I'm like, no. Why would we get a separate washer? We have a beautiful modern washer. Like, we don't
come
need...
on. Little skid mark never killed anybody.
Yeah, it's going to be okay. He's like down for the cloth diapers, but he's like nervous about it going in our washer, which I understand, but at the same time, like, it's fine.
It's not going to be. It's not that serious. He'll
Yeah.
get over it real quick. I think.
Rinse cycle. Yeah, once he sees the poop, like the newborn poop is like the breastfed poop is water soluble. Okay, anyway, Adam's face. We can move on.
Yeah, 6 months in though, let's have the same conversation and see where you're at.
Yeah, we will see
Next,
next
the solid start.
beginning of next season. Oh yeah, I've heard like solid poops are gross. Like, because it's like an adult poop, but it's okay. Anyway, gross. So yeah, it was good. And I think, Nicole, when you're here, maybe we'll do some stuff for the nursery.
Oh, okay.
Because I have to, well, I don't
Get it
have
done.
to, but yeah, I'd like to
You need to
organize.
build anything? Because I could build some shit, especially if it's from IKEA.
Maybe. We'll see. I ordered the crib and
You did?
yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's a little bougie, but we got some money off, so I'm excited about that. And yeah.
I'm down to help with whatever. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Okay, because I want to do like wall paneling in her nursery, and that's hard to do with one person. But I could use
Ooh.
Daniel for like other things, so I'd rather him do other things, and then like you and I can just do it because it's just like holding up the other side of the wood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we could do that.
Oh, that's exciting.
I'm excited to
Okay,
see it.
so question about the nursery. So the nursery is going to be the spare room upstairs, and then that's Daniel's office. So that's moving down to where you're at right now.
Yeah. Yep.
So you need you need help moving furniture too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure out, and I don't even know, like, I have to probably sell that bed up there. I want to keep it because I'm like, what if our next house we need another spare bed, but we already have this one. But in my mind, I'm like, no, actually, we probably should just sell it because it's an entire like full size bed. Like, where am I going to put that in the garage? And then we have mice. Like, I'd have to protect it really well. If I put it in a bag, it's going to get like condensation in there. Then there's going to be mold. Like, I just feel like it'd be better just to sell it. But like, I'm sad to part with it because it's so comfortable. But
I'd sell it, and then if you find yourself in a position where you need one, you just buy it again. Like, that's my thing, you know?
yeah. Yeah, especially like with Marketplace, like it's so easy to just buy people's shit. So yeah, yep. We'll have to do a little bit of a switch around for that, but I ordered a wallpaper sample, so we're gonna look at that. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's so fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wish I could do wallpaper, but these damn textured walls.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're so lucky. Our walls don't have any texture on them.
I know.
And I didn't even realize.
What's up with like Arizona housing? They just do that, huh?
They
Like,
do,
what's
yeah.
up?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
So weird.
Like real, it's like orange peel, like
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
textured.
Yep. Sure is.
Okay, well, Nicole, you had a traumatic event, and we have to hear about it before we get into our garden sequence. So let's hear
Yeah.
this.
We're already 41 minutes in, but that's okay. Okay, so to preface, it wasn't like traumatic for the average person, okay? But this was a traumatic experience for me. And after the couple weeks ago, like that incident that I had where I totally missed a session and multiple other things, to have this happen, I was physically having like a mental breakdown in my car. So I had a session last Friday, the day after we recorded, and it was in the city, and it was a sunset session, and they started like major construction on one of the highways that it's like the best highway. It's 70 miles per hour, gets you right to the city. Well, of course, they start construction on it right before summer starts, and they had like 2 lanes shut down. So right away, my GPS reroutes me to another highway, which is fine. I've taken this highway before, but it was at rush hour. And if you're from the city, you know that rush hour is a complete shit show. Well, I haven't like driven downtown Chicago in quite some time at rush hour on a Friday. Like I typically avoid that time. I don't know what I was thinking booking the session, if I'm being completely honest. But I left my house with 2 hours to spare. And I'm sorry, it's like an hour and 45 minutes to spare. Okay. So like
gosh.
I was going to get there at least 45 minutes before my session. Like this is how my brain works. So like that's a normal thing for me. It might sound crazy to some people, but this is normal for me. Okay. I was just going to arrive at the session, hang out, check my email, go on TikTok. Then my session, it's time for my session. I'm comfortable. I'm there.
Yeah.
It took me 2.5 hours to get downtown. 2.5 hours and it was so aggravating because it kept like exiting me off the highway, and I wasn't like extremely familiar with the highway to know like where, so I had to stay with my GPS and I had to listen to it because in my brain I'm like, well, I'm going to go the way I think I know to go, and it's going to take me somewhere else and blah, blah, blah. So I think I've also mentioned this before, like Jay eventually wants to move closer to New York because he's been in the city for the past like almost 2 decades now, and all his family's there. And I call him and it's like 10 minutes to my session and I'm still 30 minutes out. And I had already texted the couple at this point. I was like, listen, I'm really sorry. This is not like me, explaining myself. They're like, don't worry about it. It's totally fine. Like, don't even stress. Like, chill, like you could tell this happens to them all the time. Okay. And I'm just overly apologetic. And I called Jay and he's like, oh, you're not at your session yet? And I was like, I am never moving to the city. If we have to get divorced, we could get divorced and you could go move to the fucking city. But I had like,
He's like,
right away, like I'm just flipping out. And he's like, oh, you're going to be late, aren't you? And I was like, yes, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be very late. And the problem like wasn't even the fact that I was going to be late. It was that it was at like the city, like you have to look for parking. So you have to allow yourself time to look for parking. So like I was just going to get to the location 20 minutes late. I still needed to find parking. And it was probably like one of the worst days I've had in a really long time. Like it was worse than me forgetting that session a couple weeks ago because I was just driving and in traffic and stressed and crying, and then I'm crying and then I have a headache and then I have to do this session and be happy, and it's just like I just want to go to bed,
Yeah.
Anyway, this is very first world problems, but like my anxiety was through the roof because I'm never late ever.
No.
And
I mean, clearly you just said like you You arrived somewhere
You
like an
left
hour and a half
extremely early. Yeah.
I know. And he's like, yeah, you know, and then he tries to help, but he's not helping. And he's just like, yeah, you know, it's not your fault. It's just the city. And I'm like, well, fuck the city. Was I supposed to leave like 3 hours? Am I supposed to leave 3 hours before my session? Like, this is ridiculous. And I was like, New York's not going to be any better. Rah, rah. It was so bad.
Oh my gosh.
So the next day he's like, okay, so you never want to move to, we have to talk about this. Like, you never want to move to the city. And I was like, listen, I got over it a little bit, but like, I can't go through that again. Like, you don't want to live with me at that point. Like, cause I will be a basket case. Mm-hmm. It's just hard because like when you have to shoot a wedding, like I've been in New York before and we wouldn't live in New York. We'd probably live in like Jersey or like, you know, outside of the city, but close enough to his family. But it's like the GPS is not reliable. Like that shit just keeps going up and you're at a standstill. And it's like, how am I supposed to predict like when I'm going to get somewhere? Like if I'm working at different venues all the time, you know, like it's just not practical. Like I have to get like a work from home job in order for me to feel comfortable living over there. Mm-hmm. Do
you use Waze or do you use Google?
Well, I had both of them on.
Okay.
And it was the same thing. It was just like, it was one of those situations where it was, for one, it was Cinco de Mayo and there were lots going on downtown. And I didn't think about that. And then like the construction on top of it, plus it being a Friday, like it was so nice outside last Friday. Everybody was going to the beach and like downtown. And it was just, the GPS just kept jumping. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. If you did move to like Jersey or something, Long Island or anything like that, I feel like a lot of people do weddings there who are from the city. So like maybe you could just like just say like you don't do weddings in the city because people do travel out to the more like quote unquote countryside, right? Like I feel
they
like
do.
I see that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like people that live in the city are like, yeah, that's not practical to have a wedding in the city, affordability wise too. But New York is like one of the highest, it costs the most to get married in New York out of all other states in the United States. Rightfully so. Chicago's second, and then it's LA, I think. So like, business wise, like me thinking as a business person, I'm like, it would make more sense to move to Jersey, live in Jersey and shoot weddings in New York because the profit would be greater.
Yeah.
But it would be ridiculous, you know?
The stress.
Is the stress worth
it?
You know, more money, more problems.
Definitely.
Like Biggie said.
Oof.
So anyway, that was my traumatic experience. And those of you that, are not usually late and are late, like I feel you in that moment.
But it's not even just late, like it was the whole situation, like it was affecting other people, you know. There's a difference in being like late and being like to like late and it's a business reason and customers are waiting for you. It's a whole nother level of just
and then
dread.
Like I pulled their contract up while I'm driving and I'm like, where do they live? And they lived like in a suburb as well. So I was like, oh, good. Maybe they're going to be late too because they have to be sitting in the same traffic as me. No, they got there earlier in the day and parked at her brother's house that was right across the street from the session because they were on top of their shit, you know, like, and then Jay was at his studio. And he's like, oh, it says it's like 27 minutes to get there from here. And I'm like, you're not helping me. Like, in other words, like, maybe you should have came to the studio and like
Ubered.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, it was also frustrating too because I've shot at this location. It was a Lincoln Park location. I've shot at this location probably over 100 times and it's never taken me that long to get there, you know? Mm-hmm. So like when you think something's going to go the way it's going to go and it just doesn't, it was awful. I was very upset. But it turned out to be a great session. And I'm very excited for their wedding. So it's all good.
That's all good.
It's all good. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Okay, let's get into today's episode. Were you going to say something else?
It's practically a full catch up alone, but you know, maybe this will just be a little bit of a longer episode.
Yeah.
So, okay. Tropical garden. Florida tropical garden.
Wait,
Yes.
who's leading? I thought...
Nicole
Yeah, I'm
is, but she
leading.
was just talking. So, like, I'm like,
Okay,
maybe
yeah.
someone else talks for a brief moment. So it's, I don't know.
No,
yeah, my
that's
throat's
good.
a little scratchy.
I wasn't
But,
saying
that was-
I wasn't saying that for any other reason other than just being curious. It wasn't like a reprimanding thing.
I
know
think
your
you
4 is gonna
definitely-
we're gonna get off the phone and you're gonna be like, he just
No.
reprimanded me.
Not
'Cause
at
that's
all.
what I would do. I was like,
No.
okay.
For me, it would have been like, oh, he thinks I'm overbearing. No, but not even about you. It would just be about me. Like, oh, shoot. I was too much.
Oh god.
Oh, you guys kill me. You kill me. Okay. Yes. So Florida tropical outdoor garden. So I can kind of already see my space, but I feel like people that live in California or people that live in Florida are going to be like, yeah, that's my backyard, you know? And like, I follow people on Instagram that have like these lush, beautiful tropical plants that I can't even grow indoors, let alone outdoors. And it's just so beautiful. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like people take that for granted.
100%.
They really do.
There's a lot of like really cool things that you can grow there. Like just like as far as not even plants that we even know about, but just plants. Like, you know that I see this in Costa Rica a lot. It's like this shampoo plant where like
you
the
squish
flowers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You like kind of jerk off the plant a little bit, I think. And
okay. There's the explicit.
and it makes soap that you can wash your body and your hair with.
What?
Yeah,
I saw this
I've
in
never seen
Costa
that.
Rica.
Okay, I'm Googling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. There's like a bunch of liquid in the flower and you like, yeah. Anyway, don't need to say the phrase again.
It's bitter ginger.
Yeah. You know what? The ginger family is like very diverse and I did not know that. Like a lot
Very
of
versatile.
a lot of plants that are considered ginger. Like Adam, when we were going through the biosphere, so many of those plants were ginger or were related to ginger, like the spiral, the lobster looking one. Like those are all ginger.
Well, I mean, yeah, ginger is pretty diverse. I mean, Molly Weasley, she was like a homemaker. And then you had Ginny, who was, you know.
Weird. Okay, pause. We rewatched all of those movies. And like the whole time I was just like, Ginny is just like not that cool of a character. I remember in the books she was maybe a little bit better, but I was just like, she's so awkward. And like every time her and Harry are like near each other, I'm like, ew, this is so weird.
Yeah.
Like I ship Luna and Harry more than I ship Ginny and Harry.
Yeah. Nicole's checking out because she's like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
I know.
I don't.
I did look up a Reddit thread that was like other people who also ship Luna and Harry. And I just think like his interactions with Luna were so much more meaningful and would make more sense to be a romantic connection in the end than with Ginny. Like, I don't know.
I saw
Is this a
meme-
Harry Potter thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw a meme the other day that said like after the Battle of Hogwarts, everyone could see the Testrals. And I was like, I didn't even think about that. And that's heartbreaking. You know,
They could see what?
the
The testicles?
Testrals.
That's what I thought you said too. Test
Isn't that
rolls?
what Testrals? Isn't it that like that creepy horse thing that pulls the carriage that no one can see? They think it's invisible until they have a loved one that they've seen death and then they can see them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, everyone would be able to
Wild.
see them then.
Yeah. Anyway.
That is so true. Oh my God. So
This
insightful.
is our neurodivergent brains just full on.
Yeah, getting a little too deep.
Okay, so the shampoo plant.
Yeah, it's
You saw the
creepy
video,
looking.
Nicole? Did you see the video?
I didn't see
of
the video.
Squish and
I didn't. I just saw photos.
okay,
I don't know if I want to see a video.
it's kind of cool.
But so these are grown in Ecuador? Or they grow in Ecuador?
Yeah, I mean, I've also the only place I've seen them. I'm sure they grow in Ecuador, but I've seen them in Costa Rica. Like, there's someone who I follow who like lives there.
Oh, Costa Rica. Okay.
And
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that the Instagram account, I don't know if she's active anymore. Bethany just said She lives in Florida, and she had one of those because she had a video a long time ago. That's when I first saw him. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Did you guys know that Greenhouse, speaking of Bethany just said, she's friends with, or I guess internet friends maybe, with Gretchen, Greenhouse Girl 94. I was like, where's Gretchen been? She got locked out of her account. And like,
Yeah.
I literally just found her new account yesterday. And I was like, wait a minute. Anyway.
I know the algorithm really wasn't doing its job with her like putting out like her new page. That sucks.
I know.
She got locked out.
I know. Yeah, that would be really sad. Okay, but if I had a Florida tropical garden, I would have like my path, but I would have it like flanked with elephant ears. Just like, like that's when people like this happens casually, but like swords over a walkway when you're a princess.
Like this happens casually.
It's every time I come home, this happens for me.
That goes out there with like twine and wire to make them stand like vertical so she can put on her little ears and walk through.
Exactly. I got Leo and Cooper holding up some. No, but I would like flank the walkway with like a bunch of elephant ears. Wouldn't that be so cool?
That would be pretty. It would create shade too. And it would probably create some shelter from rain in case it was raining. Because, I mean, those things get huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
They do.
But wait, before you continue, is it only Florida or can we choose between Florida and California? Because maybe unpopular opinion here, but I feel like California is more ideal than Florida climate for plants. What are we thinking?
Yeah.
I think Florida is going to be more ideal for plants. But, well, okay, hold on. No, it depends on the type of plants because obviously California is like more humid than most places, but it's still not Florida humid. So it would be more like a little bit more desert scape, which I feel like would be more your vibe. Like it wouldn't be only tropicals.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can have cactus in Florida. It's just like I wouldn't put them in the ground, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in Cali, you could.
Right. Oof, tough decision. Okay, sorry. So walkway with elephant ear. Beautiful.
Yeah. And then you know what I would do? Hopefully I would have like big shade trees. And I think I would do some gloriosum. Like, if you guys have seen like gloriosum at like botanical gardens, how it's just like low and like so it's like I would grow it as like a hedge kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like maybe in front of my porch if I had a shade.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're typically they're shaded like they're on the what do they call it? The undercarriage.
Underlayer?
The underwear?
They're on the undercarriage of forest.
They need that shade. They don't
do.
need that direct sun.
Oh, that would be so gorgeous though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely prioritize gloriosum over everything else. Because every time I've ever seen them at like a botanical garden, it blows my mind, literally. It's just like insanely beautiful. And it stays low. It's a crawler, so it wouldn't get like too big.
Yep. Oh, beautiful. Okay. What about you, Adam? What are your thoughts?
Well, I've talked about this on the pod before, but I would definitely have a traveler's palm in my yard because I absolutely love those. I haven't looked into it, but I feel like I could probably try to get it here. But also another palm that I see a lot, which we can grow here, it's just a lot more effort when it's establishing, is a Bismarck palm. And they're so beautiful.
Wait, I have to Google.
They have like
too.
a blue tinge to them almost. They're just the prettiest, especially when they're big. So
those are pretty. Yes.
I would love to have like the front yard, like symmetrically the front of the house shanked by the Bismarck palms, or like even if I had like a long curved drive to have like 2 or 3 Bismarck palms. I want a mansion. All right. That's where I'm living.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if we're in our own like tropical dream world, it's a mansion.
Yeah. And then the traveler's palms would probably be in the backyard, but that would also be like symmetrical, like maybe around a big greenhouse or shade cloth area, because I've seen people in Florida have like these shade cloth gazebos, not a gazebo, pergola. So
Pergolas,
they
yeah.
shade cloth it, then they just like hang up a bunch of Hoya and then just like let them all grow in there. And honestly, what a dream. And I think you could do that in like SoCal. But I think you'd have to water a little bit more. I think if you were in a more humid environment, such as Florida or somewhere else, you could get away with like a little less watering. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely want a large tree in my yard that I can plant like a Tycon, Monstera, and just let it climb up the tree, because truly that would just be amazing. I just put like a board in my Thai constellation with my friend Lydia. She helped me. I repotted it.
Yeah.
I put in a board, a cedar plank. But we're getting to the point where I'm like, this thing's probably going to have to go. If it 2 more leaves, then I'm going to have to either cut it, because it's reaching the top of as high as it can go in my house, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's insane.
Ooh,
But
can we get a photo of that?
I would love to put it. Yeah. I would love to put it like out in a yard, you know, up a tree.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Oh my gosh. The leaves are already so big without the tree. Like, imagine how huge they would get. Well, I mean, regular green Monstera deliciosa gets massive, and the Thai would get just as big.
Yeah.
So wait, what? Okay. It's just too dry in Arizona, right? Like, even if you found a spot that was like completely shaded from the crazy ass sun, and you like watered it frequently, maybe it's like next to your pool. I'm thinking humidity, you know, like you can't keep it outside.
No,
There's like
because
an
I think
absolute no.
Even if the sun's not touching it, when the heat gets up to like 120, like I just don't think the foliage can take it.
It's gonna be like meh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I mean, people.
I've
had seen green monsteras planted in landscape here, and also bird of paradise, and they are okay, but they don't. I mean, they look like they've seen some shit. All right, they've been through it.
I was gonna say, like, if it's in a deeply shaded patio and you're keeping up with watering, it would probably be fine. But when a plant reaches like a certain temperature threshold, like they can't absorb water.
Yeah.
When you're getting to like, and that happens with cacti too. You know, I remember I was talking to a grower in Tucson, and he was like, yeah, sometimes you just have to watch an entire batch of plants fry because it's just too hot for them to absorb water.
Oh.
In like a greenhouse or something, like, because it's just too hot for them. Maybe if you lived in Tucson and it didn't get up to 125 degrees heat island, it might be better.
Plus, like,
Phoenix is a different beast.
All our walls are cinder blocks, so like they just retain the heat and all of that stuff. You know, it's just like radiating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate.
But when I picture like my perfect tropical garden, I do like, in my head, I was like, it has to be symmetrical, but that's just because that's how I like things.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to have one of those gardens where it just look every inch is packed and you just have a pathway to walk on.
Like chaos gardening.
But I don't know if I can actually do it, because I would forget about things. You know, I would forget where things were. But I don't know. I love those kind of things where you have like little pathways and you have like little seating areas and different spots, and it would be so much easier. Like, literally haven't done anything with the yard here because I just don't know what will survive, and I just don't even want to deal with it, you know?
I know. It's like you're very limited. I mean, Arizona landscape I think it's beautiful, like the things that you can have, but it is all desert plants, you know?
Yeah.
Like, to be safe, you're limited to desert plants. I didn't even think that palm trees could be in Arizona until my mom moved down there. I was like, I saw all the palm trees and I'm like, I thought this was like a Florida thing. Like, I didn't know there were different types of palm trees. Like, I think palm trees and I think like the Caribbean, you know?
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty cool. But
I know. I got used to it now that I've been here for a while, obviously. But when I first moved here, I was like, every time I saw a palm tree, I was like, oh my gosh, I live here. It's like I'm on vacation, but I live here, you know?
Yeah.
And I saw the mountains and I was like, oh my gosh, I live here. And now it's like no big deal to me. But when people come visit, they're like, the mountains. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
Oh yeah, they're right there.
Yeah.
Take a picture. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, just, you know, my trees would be full of pothos, monstera. Just like, I love seeing all of those things climb up in their natural, like, epiphytic dream, you know?
Yeah, I think that those Bismarck palms, like, can you imagine just pothos or like monstera just growing up? And it would probably work too, because like those palm trees give off quite a bit of shade. The foliage is huge on those.
It is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think you have an open spot, like, on the right side of your yard. Maybe a native tree would be fun. It's not cheap, though. Probably wouldn't be cheap to get a good size. But I was thinking, like, there are shade trees there, which would, when it got big enough, it could open up your possibilities of what you could plant.
Yeah. But then the pool.
And the leaves would go into the pool.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Do you guys have a swirl or no?
No, we have a Joshua tree in the front yard that we bought when we first got here. That thing is thriving. That thing has grown so much. I love it.
So nice. Joshua trees are freaking beautiful. Would Joshua trees survive in Florida? Do they have Joshua trees out there?
No, I think it's only kind of it's a desert-ish.
Yeah. Okay, so my house, I wouldn't have a mansion because, like, who's cleaning that? And I'm too cheap to pay somebody. So I'd have like I'd have like a, I don't know, maybe the size of the house I'm in now would be fine for us. But anyway, I would have a lot of outdoor space. So talking about like the path leading up to the house, which I didn't even think about this till you guys started talking about it, but I would have like orange trees. Like, let's keep it like native, you know?
Oh, I forgot about the orange trees.
I completely forgot about fruit trees.
Yes.
You can have an orchard.
Because like, yeah, you could. I don't know if I do that because, again, a lot of work. But I'd have like maybe like 6 leading up to the door. So this is a pretty big front yard, I would assume.
if you don't pick up all the fruit that falls and all that, rats do love that. It like attracts rats.
Yeah. We got to hire a gardener. That's not going to happen.
Okay.
But like, you know, fresh squeezed orange juice every morning. Oh. Come on, the frickin' dream. So anyway, it would add a lot of color too, which I feel is like that would be enough color. Like it could be all green and then just have like the orange trees. I think that'd be really pretty. And then I would have like one of those porches that just wraps around your house. And like every couple of feet would be like a gigantic fern just like hanging from the porch. Because like the ferns out here, like you can get ferns like in the fall. And they do okay, but like they only last for like a month or 2 and then they go to shit, you know? Mm-hmm. But like you can have ferns all year round out there. Like they would be so pretty and lush. And then I would definitely have like, like in the backyard, I'd probably have like garden beds, you know, like we garden in the Midwest, but for like tropicals, like we have like a gloriosum bed, maybe like a pasta bed, and like I don't know, I would just have like beds of houseplants everywhere. And then I would have like some type of another native tree, and I would definitely grow green deliciosa because like you said, those leaves are massive. I mean, massive.
Beautiful.
I was just gonna say, we all forgot like orchids.
Yeah, we did.
I would strap some orchids to some trees. Strap them up.
Even your porch. Strap them to the porch.
Yeah, literally.
Strap them to the house.
Yeah, get a thatched roof and just fill it with orchids. Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Thatched roofs are actually like pretty cool.
Yeah. Are you on thatched roof TikTok too?
Uh-huh. There was a thirst trap thatched roof. Okay, did you see that? Okay,
I sure
okay.
did. Okay.
Like, I watched the videos and I was like, is this a thirst trap? Like, I was like, or does he just not know where to put the camera? Because it's literally just like ass jiggling around doing thatch roof repairs. And I was like, I feel like this is intentional.
It's almost like Becky and Dan building the greenhouse. And all those edits he had to make.
I am so, oh my God, there's been so many times where I've literally set the camera up and it's just my ass the whole time. I'm like, well, I can't use any of this footage. This is vulgar. And it's an accident, but I do think that guy's doing it on purpose.
Yeah. But also the designs that they can do on thatched roofs. Like, I didn't even know. It's so cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Staghorn ferns. Now, I would have balls and balls of staghorn ferns, like just dangling everywhere. No, but really, there's this house. If you're a plant person and you've been to Florida, Fort Lauderdale specifically, and which, you know, a very niche market, and have taken like the tour of like the canals, because Fort Lauderdale is like the Venice of whatever. There's a lot of canals. Mm-hmm. There is one house on that we always go by on these boats, and there's like 20 to 30 staghorn ferns in their front yard. One of them is on a winch that I'm pretty sure they just tip over, like swing out. It's like a boat winch, but they probably just swing it out and just dip it into the water and then pull it back up. That's how they water it. But literally this house, every time I go by it, I'm like, that's a plant person, but that's all they have is staghorn ferns. You know, and there's lots of different types of Platycerus. So yeah, there's someone could just be really into like staghorn ferns. But it's really cool to see. And, you know, in Florida, you just like spray it down with a hose. I don't know. I love just a giant mass of fern. Like the way they grow is so cool.
Plus, you know, it rains a lot in Florida. So it's minimal effort here. Like you really wouldn't have to do much watering, I would think.
True.
When you said orchids, though, like I just pictured this gigantic pergola in the backyard and just like orchids just strapped to it and just growing everywhere. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Absolutely.
And vanilla orchids. Those are so pretty too.
Amazing. And you could probably grow Hoya out there. Like,
oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
If you can grow an orchid, you could grow Hoya out there. Not like in general, I can't grow orchids, but I can grow Hoya, but in that environment.
Yeah, my house would definitely be in like a old area of town to where I had a bunch of mature shade trees, you know, because the sun would kill everything, but I just want my whole house to be just shaded. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Hoya.
Shade trees outside are so nice. The thing is, I live in a house that has lots of shade trees and my windows don't get a lot of light. That's the only sucky thing. Like I have this gorgeous, huge picture window, south window, but in the summertime, it's like useless because I have a huge oak tree and it, completely covers it. That's the only downside. So all your indoor plants would be like, Daddy, where's the sun? But would you even have plants inside if you can just put them all outside? Like, would you even bother?
I think I would have a few no fuss plants inside just to have some greenery.
Yeah.
But no, I would focus on outdoors, I think.
Yeah, me too. Okay, I imagine here's what I would do. I would have like a glass house or a greenhouse where the sides just completely come up so that it's just, because I don't want to create a greenhouse effect where it's like really hot in there, but I would want like a building that I could close up if I needed to.
Yeah.
And I would just keep it open like all the time. And then I would put my houseplants in there just so that I had like a place to go, you know, so that it was like sectioned off. I think I would do that. I don't know if a house like that even exists.
Gotta watch them hurricanes down there.
That's the thing. See, it's beautiful, but like tropical storms are so common. I don't think I would want to live there.
They're more common now too because climate change is real.
Yeah.
And it's kind of wild.
Yeah, so maybe we can just go to like Aruba was very deserty. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
So was Bonaire and Curacao, but some of those islands, which you get the humidity, you get the nice tropics, but you don't get hurricanes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hurricanes tend to miss that part of the Caribbean, which is kind of weird. I mean, Puerto Rico was in that belt for a long time too, till
Yeah, I don't
Maria.
understand how this works because, you know, we get pretty bad tornadoes. I never hear of tornadoes ripping through Europe, you know? So I'm like,
yeah,
that's like, so true.
But I feel like it's Russia and the United States that get hurricanes. And it's like, is it a certain location on the globe? Like, what's going on?
You're right.
I need to look at this up about the tornado thing.
Yeah, that's
and then
so
like,
strange.
are hurricanes only in the northern hemisphere? Like, they're south, because I don't hear of Australia getting pelted by a hurricane, you know?
Australia doesn't need anything else to kill people down there.
No, you're right. They don't. All right.
They
got gum trees exploding so they can regenerate. They got spiders just chilling everywhere. Oh,
yeah.
Snakes. Gross.
Okay.
I cannot.
The United States gets the most tornadoes out of any other country. But it also says India, Bangladesh, China, Russia, Japan, Brazil, and Germany get them too. I don't know about this. I've never heard of a tornado. I guess we wouldn't hear about it because tornadoes aren't like, obviously they're damaging, but it's not like a massive thing like a tsunami or a hurricane. So maybe we just wouldn't hear about it.
True.
Yeah.
Canada.
It's weird. That's weird, right?
The UK.
It is weird.
Very interesting. My chair.
I think we need to get some WD-40 on that there chair.
Yeah.
I think I needed just a new chair in general. This chair is very unsupportive. I'm in my era.
Supportive.
Are you going to get a rocker for a baby?
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's what I miss.
I'm in my era of needing to like sit in a chair, which I hate sitting in chairs. I love sitting on the floor.
No more floor sitting. No more floor sitting for Becky.
No, it just hurts. Like my ribs are sore if I sit on the floor for too long.
Yeah, same.
So I gotta like sit straight up in a chair or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I moved my computer in here and I put my charger in here. I'm like, my computer is staying at this desk. Like I can't just work in bed or on the couch anymore. Like I have to have a spot because it just like hurts.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Yeah, it's kind of what happens when you turn 40 too. I was just talking to Jay about this. I was like, I think I need a new desk chair. He's like, you just got a new chair like 2 years ago. And I was like, so your point?
Yeah.
It's flat.
So
okay.
I need another one.
Not a good chair. My ass has flattened it.
I need to get the ball, you know, the bouncy pregnancy ball.
Oh,
I need to get that.
Yes. You can order that on Amazon probably. Or like your local baby store.
Yeah.
They make chairs like that too, where it's like it has a frame, so it's like a chair, so it won't roll out from underneath you.
Really?
That's so cool. And I think they have like
that's
maybe
kind of
wheels on
brilliant.
the bottom. I don't know. I saw it at my dentist's office. Very interesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I got to get a little rocker for the babe. I do have a rocking chair, but it's like those like bent wood antique rockers. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, well, I could use that, but it's not very comfortable.
You need to get a glider with a glider ottoman and your whole fucking world will be changed forever.
Okay. Do you know how expensive those things are?
I do, because it was probably the most expensive part of the nursery. Like we secondhanded the crib, but spent the money on on the glider.
Yeah.
They're so expensive, but they're next level.
Yeah. I feel like it's definitely like, like the pink tax. I feel like it's a baby tax situation.
Yeah.
Because for the good ones, okay, and then there's power ones. There's ones with like a USB charging cable. Like you can really get some.
You're spending a lot of time in that thing.
Yeah. But I'm also not trying to spend like $800 on that. But yikes, that's pretty much the going rate. It's like you can't find a good one less than like $400. Like this is insane.
Yeah, but you know what? They resell really well too. So just keep that in mind.
I've been like combing my marketplace for all of the items, and I have that set. Like I look at this. I have like 3 things that I'm always looking for: stroller, the seat, and for a while it was the crib, but then I decided to get it new. My mom convinced me. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah. It's definitely a game changer. I didn't think I'd be spending as much time in that thing as I actually did, especially the first 3 months. Yeah. And you will also be sleeping in it. So just don't yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Put it on the credit
don't nickel
card.
and dime, but that didn't sound right.
Yeah.
The credit card. Yeah.
Put it on the credit card. I just hate buying stuff like that without seeing it in person first. And Colombia is just, it's just not a shopping city.
Yeah. Slim pickings.
It's pretty bad. Like every time we need something, I'm like, okay, let's go try to find it in person. Never in stock, or they just don't have it. I'm like, I'm trying to support the local economy. Okay. How about you work with me here?
What though? This is like Jay's biggest complaint with purchasing things. Like he just bought an e-bike. I don't know if I talked about that. Did I tell you guys?
No, that's fun.
I kind of want an e-bike.
Okay, so it's so much fun. So much fun. He got the Jackrabbit brand. Because like he's
Nicole,
in the city.
You better wear a helmet. All right. We don't need you flipping over those handlebars.
Oh God, I know. I took it out the other day and I thought about that and I was like, that would hurt. But it's like it's a compact one. So when he visited New York, his brother had one. So that's what convinced him to get it, because his brother doesn't drive. So he takes it to and from work, and it's so light. It's only like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So he can like put it in the car. It only goes 20 miles an hour, which is fast enough. Let me tell you.
That's fast.
Yeah, but it's so cool. So I was like, I still am on the fence about getting one. Like, I think I might want to get one, but they're $1,000.
Oh my word.
Anyway, moral of the story is, this is Jay's biggest pet peeve with stores not having things in stock. He's like, they're like, we can order it for you. You go on the website and order it. You can order it from this store. Oh, Amazon has it. And it's like, you can't shop brick and mortar anymore. I don't think it's just a Missouri thing. I think it's like everywhere. Like, stores are only ordering things like as they sell, and then they're just out of stock of everything. And I mean, you can't really blame them, because e-commerce has just put brick and mortar out of business over the past decade.
Yeah, definitely.
But still, it's so annoying when you want to still like go into a store and go shopping, and you can't do that.
Yeah, especially for big purchases. Like, I would like to feel like with our stroller, I don't think any retailers around us carry the stroller anymore. And like, because we went into a few and they're like, oh, we don't carry that brand anymore. I'm like, okay, well, your website said you did. So maybe update your website.
For you. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And if you're making a big purchase, like, I don't know, even like a $300 purchase, it's like, I want to like touch and feel this thing I'm going to be using every day and spending money on. Yeah. And I guess like you can return it, but it's so much work.
You have to put it together and then return it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Annoying.
So when I used to work at Toys R Us, which was also like Babies R Us as well, so lots of baby stuff. Like I knew like the Graco like pattern names and everything.
Yeah.
But I remember like Travel Systems used to be like $3.99, $4.19.99. Some of them were like $5.39.99, and I bet now they're way more expensive.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's low end. For a travel system.
$5.39 was like the high end one. That was like when someone bought that, you were like, damn, you have money.
You got money.
A large?
You got money to spend.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's the stroller that we want transparently is like over $1,000. And it's like an all-terrain.
Which brand is it?
Bugaboo.
Oh, the Bugaboo. Okay.
It's an all-terrain.
I'm still on baby talk. I don't know why, but I'm still there. So I know what you're talking about.
It's like super popular in Europe. And like to me, that says a lot because they have a lot of cobblestone over there. And I don't know, like the reason I want it is because none of our trails here are paved at all. So everything we would ever walk around would be extremely bumpy. And I'm not trying to give my kid whiplash. Like, I don't know. So I've been looking used, obviously, like trying to get one secondhand. And that's like, that is definitely like the top brand. Like it's one of the top brands. There's a few others that like could work, but I'm like, I don't know. I really don't want to buy that full price. I don't think I should. But
yeah.
Anyway, I'm in cahoots with a few people seeing if I can get one secondhand. We will see.
I completely agree with you, like wanting to go see something though and like feel it. Cause like I know it doesn't mean anything. Like it's not even the same thing, but I recently just bought a new shelf at IKEA because the Vitsu shelves are just never in stock here. And I don't think they're ever coming back in stock here.
Yeah.
So there's a shelf that I got, which I thought was akin to it, but it's a little wider, a little taller. And I thought it was like deeper. The Falkinge, or I don't know how you spell it, FJA, whatever.
Oh, yeah. The one you were telling us about, right? You got it?
Yeah. So we're walking around IKEA Monday and I'm like trying to like see this shelf in person, but they didn't have it. They didn't have it up, but they had it in stock, but they didn't have it in the showroom. And I was like, oh, that's okay. I'll
all
buy
the
it.
space in IKEA.
Right.
Like,
Not in the showroom, like of all. That doesn't make any sense.
I bought it, brought it home, put it together, and it is not. It's the same depth as far as like how deep the shelves go as the Vitsu. And I thought it was going to be deeper so I could have like 3 rows of Hoya. No. And so then I'm fully disappointed because the cost of this thing is $250 where the Vitsu is $119, $109.99. You know, it's double the price and I don't like it. And now I kind of want to return it. But on the other hand, I'm like, I don't want to have to take this whole damn thing apart and drive it back to IKEA, you know?
Yep.
First world problems again, but that's also why I rearranged my entire plant collection against that wall because I have that one shelf that's like a bastard shelf and I hate it and I can't have it near any of the other shelves because they cannot not match.
Yeah, totally. Well, okay, listen. We live in a society. Society is working against us. The way that the world is structured is working against us. We work 40 plus hour weeks. Okay. So we're already exhausted. And then also we can't even buy things in person. So we have to order them. And then if we don't like it, then we have to find time to disassemble it and return it in the 2 hours of free time that we have that we could be spending with our family, our dogs, relaxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just why would, and then you just end up keeping it because it's like not even worth your time. Like time is money. As always in capitalist America, you know, it's just
capitalism knows it. They know we're going to keep the shelf. They know we're not returning it.
100%. I feel like that is why. Okay, see, this is a personal flaw for me. I never return things. And it's just mostly because I forget or I'm busy. But like return policies are so lax most of the time. Like they'll take anything back. And I think the reason is because most of the time people aren't going to return it. They'll just have it sit in their garage. Like, because I am that person who just has let things sit in my garage that I should have returned, you know?
Same.
So.
Yeah, I really don't return stuff either.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered.
They're banking on us just keeping it and being dissatisfied.
Oh, America. I'm getting ready to leave this place, y'all. Getting ready to bounce.
I don't think you are because, you know, you can't live in a city.
Yeah, but, you know, a small little town, like a small little country town in, I don't know, Ireland sounds really great right about now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I digress, though.
It does. Dan and I have been talking a lot about Japan. Like, we both would, like, so love to live in Japan.
Jay, too.
I really want to visit.
Too.
Yeah.
It's such a... Okay, obviously, I'm, like, romanticizing it. I don't live there, but like everything that I've heard, they're so family oriented. They care about the environment. Like that's Dan's thing. He's like, they really care about the environment. Like they recycle, they take care of things. It's clean. And he's been there before. I haven't. Dan has. And one of his best friends lives there. He is like Japanese and he lives there. Mm-hmm. And it just, they like kids, you know, like kids existing is not an inconvenience. Like people will like play with your kids and you can trust them. You know what I mean? It's like,
and they're really like laxed with kids out there. Like kids have a lot of freedom. Kids aren't getting kidnapped. Like they're walking to school at like 5 years old by themselves.
Well, I was talking to my friend Lydia about this because, you know, she's Korean. So South Korea, like, and she's been back there to visit. But it's such a small country. Like their infrastructure is so good. So like if you didn't have a car, you don't need a car there. And I'm sure places in Japan too, it's just like, it's a pedestrian city. You got public transport that's like all over. Like my friend Zach doesn't drive. He's got cerebral palsy. He had to quit a job because he couldn't afford to get to his work. Or it was going to take 2 hours every day on the public transport or $50 a trip on Uber. And he's just like, I can't even afford to have this job. So like,
isn't Europe like that too? Isn't Europe very like pedestrian friendly and like they're,
pretty much. And I get it because the United States is massive, but at the same time, it's quote unquote one of the wealthiest nations in the world. And like, we are extremely car reliant, and it honestly just keeps people dependent on their cars, which is expensive, gas, this, that, and the other. The environment, I don't know. If I could move to Japan, I would.
Yeah. Oh man, tropical gardens to this tornadoes, tropical gardens.
I know.
Tornadoes.
I was just thinking though. We should totally make this a Patreon topic, though, in our next Patreon, because I do want to talk about just like getting the fuck out of here. That'd be great. Anyway,
countries that we would flee to.
Yeah, definitely.
If we could. It's a lot harder than I think I want to tell myself, because I see like TikToks of people being like, okay, I'm starting the process. Like I'm starting a year out. I'm like, what? You can't just go.
Yeah.
When I make my mind, I want to be there. I want it. I want to go.
I know. Like, I don't want to plan a year in advance, but you have to if you're like going to live there. Like, it's just different. Yeah. You can't just like show up, which I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
But,
okay. Well, this is a very long episode. Those of you that like those kinds of things, you're welcome. Those that don't, sorry.
You're probably not
thank
hearing
you
this.
so much. Yeah, you're probably not even, you didn't make it here. Thank you so much for joining us in today's little episode. Head over to Instagram at Potted Together and let's have a discussion about what you would have your outdoor tropical garden look like if you lived in a place like Florida or the Caribbean or wherever.
Or if you live in Florida.
And if you live in if you live in
pics.
Florida, share pics with us on Instagram, tag us because we want to see what you're growing out there. And we're jealous. Okay.
Yes.
So also you can follow us individually on Instagram. Becca is at De La Plants. Adam is at Not Dude. And I am at My Clean Leaves. And then also, you know, stay tuned. Maybe next month we'll talk about how to get out of America over on our Patreon page. So head over there and check us out. There is quite a bank of episodes in Patreon now. Like if you were to join Patreon right now, you'd probably be like have a solid day of listening to Potted Together, which sounds very overly self-indulgent of me to say, but if you like the funnies and you like us, then go do that, right?
Yeah. Well, it's over a year of monthly episodes. So, that, I mean, that's at least like 13, 14 episodes.
Hours. Yeah.
And each episode's like an hour and a half.
Yeah. So
Becca got a mic stand and she just twisted her tripod so tightly. We need this. She's got free hands and the whole time she's just like wringing out her tripod.
I cannot have idle hands. I didn't even realize that I was like messing with this. This like I think probably for more than half the episode I've been untwisting it and retwisting it.
We need to get you a fidget spinner.
I'll let you know how that sounds in editing. Well, let's hope that doesn't sound like anything.
No,
do not get the girl a fidget spinner.
I know.
Okay?
Oh no.
Or a Rubik's Cube or anything else like that.
See, I was never like a pen clicker because I hate the sound. So I just kind of I just like mess with my nails most of the time, if anything. But
that's what I do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Okay, guys. We love you guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
At Sleep Outfitters Outlet, great sleep is a big deal. Save 40 to 60% every day on every Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. Queens as low as $249. Customer exchanges, closeouts, and floor samples. Inventory changes daily, so come in for your dream deal today. With no credit needed financing, expert advice, and up to 60% off retail, it's never been easier to get the sleep and savings you deserve. Go to sleepoutfittersoutlet.com for financing details and to find a store near you.